Hey beauties, it's Riri. I decided to do this as a voiceover because y'all know mama likes to talk, honey. So I want to get into all of the new products I've been testing out, products I have reviews for, and testing a couple with you guys today. And try to do it in a manner in which I'm not talking your ears off the entire time. This is the brand new Fenty Beauty, the Hydra skin tint. This is shade 3. I'm also going to pop up a shorts video in here that I did. I did not release that yet, but I did also film my very first impressions of this. And I'm going to do so only because when I first tried this, and I'm hoping you guys see this, I did not like it. I feel like if you, and even for myself, I have very dry skin. If you test this out, do not use a moisturizer underneath it. I think that's what I did wrong in my first impressions of this, is I was already kind of dewy, glowy, loomy because I had pre-moisturized, and this is a tinted moisturizer. And a lot of times I do use a moisturizer on top of a tint, but I did not need that with this. And hopefully you'll see from the shorts video or from my first impressions, it was incredibly like oily and greasy looking. I did not like it at all. But even that day, I did use a little bit of setting spray on top, and I did kind of press it out with my sponge. From there, I really did like it. It wore well. Obviously, you know, you're gonna not get as full coverage and as long of a wear with a tinted moisturizer, but I really, this is probably my 4th or 5th time now trying it. I really do like it now. I think a little bit goes a long way. I think that's also where I kind of messed up in my first impressions. You do not need a lot of this. So I will go in with a very thin layer, like one light pump, not even a full pump. Then I'll go back on top of it with another thin layer and kind of press it out with my sponge. I love the coverage here. It doesn't have a harsh fragrance. It does not break me out. And I really do, using this by itself without kind of prepping underneath, it looks beautiful and it wears beautifully as well. Highly recommend. I think if you have oily skin, I'm not quite sure how it would sit on your skin, but for me, I'm a huge fan. Next up, I'm going to go in with another product that I have been testing behind the scenes. I did kind of semi-test it with you guys. It is the Ciate London Extraordinary Under Eye Brightening Like Cream. I love this product. I will note that less is more definitely here as well, which that's kind of my motto. Y'all know that. Less is more. But a tiny little bit goes a long way. I do like to begin kind of with a brush, put it into place. And because this has that little bit of kind of a peachy undertone to it, it really does illuminate and brighten. It's also very hydrating. With that being said, the hydration, if you put too much, again, this is why I say less is more approach with this. If you put too much, it is definitely going to be a little bit too emollient. It's not going to set as well, and it does crease up a little bit. But I do like to go in and again with a brush, place a little bit, and then very gently and lightly tap it out with my fingers. And as you can see, instant illumination, brightness. It wears well. It looks so incredibly beautiful. It kind of gives this beautiful, like lit from within, a little bit of hydration, and not necessarily glow, but it's definitely hydrating and plumping and incredibly brightening. I love this. Next up, another product that I love and been testing behind the scenes as well as with you guys, e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. This is the light pink. I have also used the medium shade of the regular powder for a very long time and I love it. I am going to go in and lightly set. Again, less is more. I do have very dry, mature, textured skin. I'm going to press out that Ciate product first just to make sure I have no creasing. And I'm going to go in with my Trigwell sponge and very lightly tap the slightest little amount of this, you guys. Like I put a little bit in, I pat it on the back of my hand, and I go in with the least possible amount of powder that I can. And I'm going to very lightly set just to make sure that I do not get any creasing. Next up, I'm testing out the Sigma Little Brow Powder Palette. This is in the shade Medium. This is the first time with you guys that I was trying this out. And I like to use a powder. I actually used to use a pencil and then kind of go in and use a powder or a pomade. I'm kind of open to really any brow products. Y'all can see that my brows are not the best, so I'll take all the help I can get. I will note that this was incredibly well made. It felt nice and sturdy and stuff like that. It didn't feel like super chintzy and cheap. And I am going to go in with this little brush that I got in my IPSY, and it was by the Ciate Beauty brand, and it has like the really pretty brush on one side and an angled brush on the other side. I opted to go in with the deeper shade, and I am just going to follow the bottom part of my brow and just kind of add that powder into any of my sparse areas. I will definitely speed this part up, and then I'll talk about the next product that also was new from Sigma. Then I went in with the Sigma Tint and Tame Brow Gel, also in the shade Medium. I did pick up both of these products in like the IPSY Mega Drop Shop for a very affordable price. And I do go through brow products incredibly quickly, like they are something that I kind of need, if you will. I really like the sleek packaging. Again, it felt weighted. It felt like really good quality. A lot comes on this brush, and I just wanted to note that for you guys, but I like the tone and undertone of this, and I like that it's a little bit more of a kind of short, stubby brush. This I love. It has incredible hold, stays in place all day. I felt like it really lifted and stuff like that. Again, I put on a little bit too much, so maybe less is more approach here, or wipe the wand off a little bit more. But I like that it has great hold. I love the color and stuff of it, but it was not crunchy. It lasted all day. Next up, I went in with the Melt Cosmetics, the matte bronzer in the shade Santa Barbara. This is called Ultra Matte, but to me, this is more of a kind of like soft velvet. You can very clearly see, even like in the swatch and it on my finger, it has a slight luminescent quality to it. Not glowy, not dewy, no shimmer, sparkle, anything like that. This is very, very, very pigmented, but I love the tone and undertone of it. It blended out very well. I do feel like it's super richly, like intensely pigmented. So maybe a less is more approach, or do like I do and use a more open, fluffy brush. And I did kind of pinch it just a little bit, especially with like the top part of my hair being blonde now. I don't want to get it all in my hair. I also don't want to have, bronzer helmet or anything like that. So I take a less is more approach. I like to have a little bit more of a diffused bronzer look, but I really love this. It looks so beautiful, blends out well, and it lasts all day on the skin as well. So this is super, super pretty. I did get this at Sephora, and it was like 50% off. Definitely highly recommend this, especially if you can get it on sale. But yeah, less is more approach. It's incredibly pigmented, which you can kind of see on this side. I kind of went in with a little bit too much, or I just didn't blend it out enough to start with. So you do have to kind of work with it. I don't feel like it gets muddy or patchy, but it definitely does take a little bit of work. Next up is the Caliray highlighter in Moonlight Beach. This is also a Sephora item that I got for 50% off, and I'm going to just tell y'all, spoiler right now, I believe, and I just would have to rethink on it, but I'm pretty sure this is my favorite powder highlight of all time. It is incredibly high shine, incredibly smooth, does not accentuate texture. It looks beautiful. The undertone of this is absolutely stunning. I feel like I can get away with it during the winter months when I'm not as tan, and I can wear it even in the dead of summer when I'm extremely tan. It just looks so stunning. It is this beautiful golden gossamer yumminess. Y'all, it's beautiful. I use it all the time now. Like, I have used this every single time that I've done my makeup. It is incredible. Highly, highly, highly recommend. The packaging here does feel cheap. I noted that in my Sephora unboxing, and I like that with this, I've tested it both ways. You can see I was incredibly shocked by how just beaming and beautiful it is, but you can also go in and really diffuse this and really do like a less is more approach, take it down just a little bit, and it just looks beautiful. It can be a little bit more understated. You can really blend it out, or it can be beaming from here to outer space. I love it. If you can get it on sale, especially, I highly recommend. But, aside from the packaging, I love the packaging. I think it's pretty. I love the ombre effect, but the packaging does feel cheap. But, oh my gosh, it's so stunning on the skin, you guys. So incredibly beautiful. Another product that I have a full-on review for is the NYX Buttermelt Blush. This is their brand new launch. This is the shade Feeling Butta. And, oh my gosh, I love it. I'm telling you, especially the products that I've kind of consistently been using, this is stunning. If you do not like a glowy blush, this is definitely not for you. And this for me, honestly, like right now, it can be a blush slash, you know, bronzer topper type deal. In the winter months, it's going to be a little bit too deep for me. So just noting that for you guys. Again, I like to go with a more kind of less is more approach, a little bit more diffuse, and I like to use a big fluffy brush. The shade of this is so incredibly beautiful. It gives that really pretty summery, you know, sunburnt vibes. You can overdo it on this, and I definitely have. And it's very, very impactful, very pigmented. It lasts a long time on my skin. It wears incredibly well, you know, layers and builds well. But yeah, less is more approach, especially if you know, are like my skin tone and you purchase this particular shade. It is definitely, it packs a freaking punch. And I've used it nonstop since trying it. Next up, another one I've been using and have full reviews for is the new Power Grip Primer from e.l.f. This is a dual layer one. I like the mist on it. It is incredibly fine. There is no harsh scent or anything like that. I like this for kind of prepping the skin, and or you'll see that it kind of pulls forward everything and just makes everything look luminous and a little bit more dewy and hydrated. It just kind of brings everything forward, makes all the makeup kind of become one with the skin as opposed to sitting on top of the skin. Now, I know I'm gonna hurt some people's feelings. This does not prolong your makeup wear. And I've even tested it where I've put eyeshadow on my arm as a swatch and sprayed it on it. It is going to streak. It is not going to, you know, keep it on and make your makeup bulletproof. And I'm guessing that it is because of that, you know, the oily layer that is with it. So I don't like the claim of it being a makeup setting spray or something that's going to prolong your wear. I think that it just brings forward everything and makes everything just look cohesive and really pretty and brings a beautiful, healthy, like dewy glow to the skin, especially if you're like somebody like myself and you do have drier skin. But I don't notice a ton of longevity with this particular product. Next up, a brand I have not tried in a very long time. This is the Rose to Fame palette from Morphe. I did recently try a Morphe 2 like bronzing stick, and I really, really loved it. I've not purchased a Morphe palette in probably 5 years or so. But I'm happy to say, I'm going to speed this part up, but you guys, not only was I impressed, not only do I love the color story, not only did everything blend and layer and stay in place, it was perfection, you guys. I wasn't just like, oh, this is good. It's real damn good. And if you have not tried them, like myself, in a very long time, like that bronzer kind of piqued my interest again. Fantastic quality, you guys. The mattes are incredibly smooth, very soft, very buttery, and they just feel great. They feel like silk. And then, of course, these are not like the bells and whistles type of shimmer formula, but for a kind of standard, if you will, shimmer formula, they're phenomenal. Incredibly smooth. Everything was very long wear. I love this palette, you guys. And I like kind of aiming for more of a spotlight or halo eye. So you can see I'm starting very light and then building up some intensity and some depth and then popping the center with the lighter shades. And then I love, and something else that made me buy this was this center shade here, the kind of more molten gold shade. You can use a kind of less is more approach and use it dry as just kind of a, you know, gold type of eyeshadow. But you will also see, and I did also demonstrate, that you can wet this and it becomes this beautiful, very high shine, very molten, liquidous gold. It was just yummy, you guys. Okay, it was yummy. And I'm trying to be better about showing my brushes. Let me know if you guys want to see brushes and stuff like that. But I did showcase which brushes I used as well. I mean, the pigment here was great, you guys. And for me, most importantly, and I don't hear people talk about this very much, it has to be long lasting on my lids. I do not like when I spend time on my eyeshadow, even if it's 5 minutes, I don't care. I don't want to waste my time doing an eyeshadow look for it to be off of my eyes and just, you know, withered away within an hour. I am happy to report that this lasted all day on my lids, you guys. Literally, I am impressed. 100% impressed. Next up is the Lip Injection, the Extreme Lip Plumping Liner in Puffy Nude. This is not new to me. This is a full-on review for you guys. I do like that it clicks up. You cannot click it back down, just noting it for you guys. And this is intense. So if you do not like an intense lip plumping effect, you will absolutely not like this. I like that feeling. I like the regular Too Faced lip injections. I like the extreme one. I'm a fan of lip injection products, or like lip plumping products. I love the shade of this. I've used it consistently since getting it, and I would highly, highly recommend. It lasts all day. It's smooth enough and kind of creamy enough that it glides well, but not so creamy that it's kind of gushing and breaking and doesn't have longevity. It lasts a really, really long time. And the plumping effect, which I think this is why I wanted to add this to this particular video, I can add, my lip oil, lip treatment, whatever the case is, on top of this. And if I reapply throughout the day, for me personally, that kind of stinging or like, injection feeling comes back. So the feeling can kind of go away and you won't really feel it tingling. But if you kind of manipulate the lips, so to speak, it will kind of flare back up, so to speak. And I actually really, really love that. Again, lasts a really long time. I love the shade of this. I cannot recommend this enough, you guys. Then I went in with this brand new Kiko lip gloss. I have the same feelings on this. It is so beautiful. It smells really nice, like good enough to eat. It smells like baked goods. The shine on this, you guys, is intense, beautiful, very high glass shine. I love it. It has a little bit of hold and grip, meaning it's going to, have a little bit more long wear, long wearability, but it's not thick. It's not heavy. It's not tacky. It doesn't give you the weird stringy butthole lips. You know what I'm saying? I loved this, and I've been using this also since trying it in this video. Highly recommend. I don't think Kiko is a brand that's talked about enough, and they have phenomenal quality products and at a really, in my opinion, pretty reasonable price point. Yeah, I loved this look. I've also tested the NYX Butter Gloss, the Bling. I've tested them for like a shorts and reels and all that kind of stuff. Still been enjoying it. I love the sparkle and the glitters on it. My only takeaway with this, as far as a full-on review, love the shine, love the sparkle. I think it's incredibly beautiful, smells nice. It's very thin and lightweight and not sticky or tacky. However, the sparkle that's on it, you need like an oil-based remover to take it off, because even when I go to wipe it off, wash my face, take a shower, everything, them glitters, y'all, are still stuck to my lips. You don't feel them. You don't feel texture, graininess, grittiness, but they're on the lips still. So that's the only teeny tiny takeaway that I had, but this is my full face of reviews and testing new makeup, testing a couple viral products. What did you guys think? Comment down below. Let me know if you've tried any of these products or any of them on your list to try. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you'll stick around and subscribe. Thank you to my beautiful channel members. I love you. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. And of course, be your own best beautiful.